All right, let's move on to Ole Miss Rebels at Arkansas Razorbacks. Ole Miss 1-2, 1-2 in the SEC. Razorbacks 1-2, 1-2 in the SEC. Ole Miss coming off a week where they put up 48 points on number 2 Alabama in a 63-48 loss. Look at these stats from this team, and they're scoring 41.7 points per game and allowing 51.7 points per game. Wild. They open with a 37-10 loss at home to Georgia. Follow that up with a Oh, sorry, this is Arkansas now. That was Ole Miss. Arkansas opened with a 37-10 loss at home to Georgia. Followed that up with a 21-14 win at Mississippi State before losing a tight 30-28 game at number 13 ranked Auburn on the weekend. They were in it. They were in it and could have pulled it out. Ole Miss Rebels, Arkansas Razorbacks. Let's see what we are dealing with. Ole Miss opening up as 3.5-point favorites on the road at a plus line at Bet365. It's now threes across the board. And as you can imagine, with Ole Miss allowing 51.7 points per game, this total opened up high, 76.5. And it's all over the map. It's at 76, 76.5, 77, or the leading indicator books have moved it to 78. Wow. Ole Miss, Arkansas. John Ryan, take it away.
Well, the same theme as before is, I was kidding around with one of my buddies and saying that, defense doesn't win championships anymore. It's fans. And what I mean by that is what we've been talking about with no fans in the stands. The road teams come in, and the offenses are across the board vastly better, if you call it better, in scoring offense than at any time in the last 10 years in the SEC. You have Nick Saban giving up 48. The last time that happened actually was the Iron Bowl in 2018, but that matches the most he's ever allowed an SEC opponent since being the coach of Alabama. And then you have Lane Kiffin come in with his, I guess, whether you like him or not, he's an offensive genius. His results speak for themselves. And to score that many points on an Alabama team is kind of more than head scratching. So it seems like the whole college football playing field is going even more to an offense first type of scheme. A lot of these teams, however, have brought in offense or defensive coordinators to try to plug holes and make things better, but they've certainly haven't been earning their multi-million-dollar contracts this year. Not yet, at least. So I had mentioned Florida was the top offensive team in the SEC and one of the tops in the country. Then you have Mississippi. They're actually in the middle in terms of offensive efficiency, believe it or not. They're 13.7 yards per point. Again, that means 13 yards of average offense to get 1 point on the scoreboard. The worst team by comparison is Vanderbilt, and I think, unfortunately, their team is rebuilding on both sides of the ball, and their offense efficiency is 29. So that'll come down. I've never seen a team finish that high in terms of offensive ineptitude. Mississippi State is 22, but Ole Miss is flat in the middle at 14. So, or I'm sorry, 13.7. So with all the points that they're scoring, they could have even been better. Then we look at you look at Arkansas here, and they've been the doormat of the SEC for a long time. They won 2 games in a row for the first time in very, very long time. I don't remember the exact date, but I remember tweeting about it. And they darn near won a third one, taking Auburn right to the limit. If it wasn't for that funny call at the end of the Auburn game, I don't know if you guys saw that, but that sure looked like a backwards pass to me. And I'm a guy that I like Auburn. I like a lot of teams. But that clearly looked like a backward pass that would have not given Auburn a chance to kick that field goal. So Arkansas is playing a lot better than any other time in recent memory. Their offense ranks 12th, gaining 16.7. Their defense ranks 6th, and that's the impressive part of this matchup, and why I do have a lean on Arkansas. Arkansas's defense is much better than any other time. As I said, they're actually ranked higher than Florida's defense, ranked right behind LSU and Alabama. And granted, that's not saying much about LSU with the numbers that they've allowed, which are school records. So again, this offensive explosion in the SEC and really across all of college football has to be explained somehow. And I think part of it is the lack of fans. So in this game, I definitely have a lean and possibly more than that, which I can confirm on Twitter later this week on Arkansas.
A lean towards Arkansas from John Ryan, Ole Miss, Arkansas. Very interesting spot. Nolly knows. What do you think here? Is there a move you're interested in, side or total?
I mean, not really a game that I like being part of, especially when I'm seeing Ole Miss just throwing the ball everywhere, no defense really being played. Not really the type of football I like to watch. That's why I'm an unders guy. That's the angles that I like, because I like seeing clean football. When I'm seeing 100 points scored, I see a lot of mistakes were made. And but I mean, you got to give it to Lane Kiffin. He has been able to put up some points against some tougher defenses in Kentucky in particular. And that's what's going to tell a story whether or not Arkansas is going to be able to slow them down. They haven't been able to slowed down by anybody, and their defense isn't stopping anybody. So even at this this really high total, you can't look at under. You got to look over still. That's what's crazy to say. But at 76, am I going to take that? No way. I won't even want to watch this game.
It's up to 78. It's funny. He really hates overs. I mean, this is the man makes unders again. He's not only trying to make unders again, but he despises overs. CMac, what do you think of this spot?
Yeah, I agree. I can't take 76 and a half. Lane Kiffin, and they've looked great. They've moved the ball, but they can't stop anybody. If I was on any side here, Arkansas has played a little bit better defense. They're at home, which is a little bit, of course, fans aren't there. But I would go with the home dog here. I think you take the 3 or just money line. I'd take Arkansas. So.
And we will see if that's a move that CMac makes throughout the week. Follow him on Twitter. So we have a lean towards Arkansas from both John Ryan and CMac, and we have Nolly Knows just disgusted with watching Ole Miss football.